Hey guys, Cold here. Welcome back to another video. Teams Raid doesn't know what they want to do, right? It seems that they don't know what the hell they're doing in the game because of this. The news today. Okay, let's go over the news today and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. There's big things coming to Raid, apparently, that are going to change things up in terms of the rewards that we get within the game. New rewards and a rebalancing of champions that affect those rewards. So let's get started. First things first. Guys, we have this Prism summons thing that they've just popped up, all right? You buy the jewels. It's only you can get these with money or from specific events. There's an Epics only Fire Night tournament going on right now. It's pretty difficult to do an Epics only Fire Night 1, but basically you can do it on normal mode instead of the hard mode and still get the rewards at the end, which basically is one summon with the possibility of a 2 to 6 star legendary and a 2 to 6 star epic. The chances are, well, 5.5% for a 6-star legendary to get out of this one. And the big selling point here is probably Narcissus, Trunda, we have Armans, we have, let's see who else would be really, I mean, Sifi, Queen Ankora, I guess Duchess. All of these are really great PvP champions and PvE champions, especially Trunda, which is the talking point for today's video. She affects the Hydra so much that they're also gonna do, guys, look at this. They're also doing, look at this, a 15x progressive for her tomorrow. It's starting tomorrow. We're gonna have Trunda, of course, being one of the legendary champions offered. Samson, Gofred, Fushan, Tunisia, Soles. Everyone else other than Trunda is meaningless, right? And then if we go down for Wednesday summons, it's gonna be Claycat, Eostrid, Elva, Pinthroy, Warlord, and Senna. None of these are of any consequence, really. In terms of summons, and in terms of the chances to get these champions, you guys know the deal. The chances are the same. It doesn't affect anything. It only becomes the chance to get that specific champion becomes greater if you summon something, you get a legendary, and it's not what you were looking for. So if you get Trunda, then you go what you wanted, but the chances still go up. It's going to be 20x. So if you want multiple copies of her, you get a +4, which is probably what people will be doing tomorrow. Is this, that the fact that people will be tempted to do this, though, really affects how the game is going to go. Because this was like an announcement. They wanted us to post at around 4 p.m. I think 4 or 5 p.m. my time, and then at around 6 p.m. my time, they posted this balance for the Hydra clash. So they say, hey Raiders, it's been quite a while since we commented on the current state of Hydra and the Hydra class in general. The topic remains hot and we need to clarify our position and intentions towards this mighty creature. We acknowledge Hydra clash currently doesn't work as intended and it's off balance as a game mode. Here goes a heads up to what directions we prioritize to alleviate the issue. All right, this issue, by the way, has been going on for minimum a year. All right, minimum a year. Hydra clash is not a year old, but it still has been going on for a long time. Anyway, modifying Hydra's general battle mechanics. Some champions are great but become extraordinary when fighting Hydra specifically, which indicates that the issue is rather with the Hydra's mechanics itself. First and foremost, thus we're considering tweaking Hydra's overarching mechanics as a boss overall. No, this is not it. If I'm gonna be honest, the real problem is Trunda. Trunda is the #1 problem. There's no other team out there that does similar damage to Trunda. It's completely out of the question. I don't understand what they're saying. Yes, I understand that some mechanics, such as when the heads die and they become vulnerable, then they will be doing a lot of damage. But this has been talked over for endless amounts of time. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This guy here did 111 billion damage out of the 230 billion damage this clan has. So he alone did more damage than our whole clan that did with 50 keys. All right, he did on brutal 33 billion damage with this Trunda team, right? Which is insanity. This merciless Trunda with zeal, merciless Trunda with zeal did 30 billion damage. Is quite an insane key to do. All right, and it begs the question: should this be allowed? Well, no, because it's just, it doesn't make sense. It's not fair. People shouldn't be doing, you know, the amount of damage that one whole clan does and with one key, right? So this discussion has been talked over since forever. But anyway, changes to the Hydra Clash competition that will make fighting Hydra on harder difficulties more appealing. Well, yes. When you have the multipliers, it's still good, but again, the Trunda is the problem. When the Trunda damage comes through and you do like 10 billion on normal with an average Trunda, and then you compare that to somebody who throws a key on Nightmare and barely does 1 billion points, it's not the same, all right? 1 billion points to 10 billion points is not the same, even though the people will not be getting the same rewards. The reward there for doing a key on normal and on Nightmare are barely noticeable, right? Okay, the stone skin gear is great, but it's still for the people who want to do lots of damage to get the Hydra Clash chests. They'd rather do that and lose out on the potential, you know, reward from Nightmare, which probably they'll still do Nightmare, especially if they do their Trunda key. They'll still do Nightmare, all right? So the problem, the number one problem here is Trunda, and they should have named it, right? That is, the Trunda is the problem. They didn't do it though because it brings in a lot of money, and it's shown here. Like, they won't change this. This won't be changed in a month. This probably will take months in plural to be changed. Probably end of summer. Hopefully I'm corrected, and I will say it if I'm corrected. And this is before the end of, let's say, in July that they fix this. But anyway, rebalancing specific champions, but only when Hydra Clash mode and Hydra as a boss are adjusted. Only if champions rebalance is still necessary at that point. So they're only gonna change how some specific champions work only when these two things happen. So when they rebalance on how when 1 and 2 are changed and they see that, okay, it still needs a change, they're gonna rebalance specific champions, and only at this point they'll do it. Rebalancing specific champions. I don't know about this. They're gonna do 1 and 2, and then they're gonna think about 3. So changing how Trunda works with her A2. Trunda is not used anywhere else in the game. I get her A2 being as a skill. It works very similar to how surplus damage works in the game, but at extraordinary figures. Surplus damage does not work that well. But it still does solid damage. So if they changed it to that, I don't think people would really complain. It's just that people have been spending so much money trying to get that +4 Trunda 6-star Awakened Trunda that it's kind of nuts. So maybe that's why they don't want to touch the rebalancing of her so much and have it as a point, which is, okay, if number 1 doesn't work, if number 2 doesn't work, and we still have such discrepancies, then we'll do number 3, and it's going to be a rebalancing. Anyway, consolidation rewards for being ranked 4th or 5th. This is part of their what was it called, the journey, the roadmap for quality of life changes. So this was the final part of this. This is more likely to come before any of these changes come, if I'm gonna be honest, because this is the easiest thing to implement. They give you 1 or 2 accessories if you finish 4th. They give you 1 if you finish 5th, and that will be also dependent on the damage you do. So you can't really just not do anything and get the rewards. So you'll still have to do some damage in order to get the rewards of participation. Okay, so the list of the directions outlined above may be changed or even expanded depending on the on-ground reality of the implementation. The game design team is already testing possible solutions, so we'll be glad to announce the actual changes when the testing is over. Until then, we just wanted to share our point of view on the issue and how we're going to approach it. Stay tuned for further updates. So what is this whole reality? Is that this is work in progress and just wanted to update us, but at the same time, 15x on Trunda and blessings boost on for Trunda's soul. So have that in mind. That is how raid works. One of my another big problems with the game right now is that there's multiple different areas which they still haven't addressed, and I don't think they will address ever. We've been telling them this on the creator chat. One of them is the upgrades here from Ascensions. Okay, these are great and all, but the biggest problem is the Chaos Dust. This has a very low drop rate to the amount of energy that you're putting in for doing Sand Devil. All right, you're putting thousands upon thousands of energy for Sand Devil, and you get, like, you finish the whole tournament for the Sand Devil, you get first position, and you get 40 dust. All right, 40 dust is not even enough for one item. Usually you need about 100 dust for one item to roll the way you like. I wonder if we can see this. We can't see the last one, the last tournament, but like the top player had 350,000 tournament points. I think it was Ziggy. That guy is a big spender, so he probably spent like 100,000 energy minimum, and that was basically to get dust, not to get the remaining parts of the upgrades to ascend your items. So that thing needs to be addressed, so we can maybe use these the smaller ones, the lesser ones, use these to get dust or something, because it just doesn't make sense. On the other account, I think it has 200,000 lesser dust compared to like 5,000 of the superior dust. So superior oils, I'm talking about zero dust, by the way, with all of that, because it costs a significant amount to be doing the changes on ascensions. So other problems we currently have in the game is that I think summons need to be changed a little bit. I think they need to be cheaper in terms of pricing, but I know that won't ever happen. There's other facts in the game that are problematic, such as on how everything has just become more expensive in terms of champion training, artifact enhancement, dungeon divers, the tournaments. All of those go up while the prices of things stay where they were. So it kind of doesn't make sense to me. Maybe they need to address that if this game wants to have some sort of longevity. All right, that was it, guys. A big rant. Oh my god, big rant. I didn't think I was gonna go for that long for this video. Basically, the whole thought process came and started because of when I saw the summoning pool here, and I saw Trunda being #1 here on the spot, so they can see here, right? They can see, oh, it's Trunda in the summoning pool, and then everything else. So Trunda #1. Then they have 15x for Trunda. It's like they completely ignored the issue, but then they posted something to say, okay, guys, we are taking a look at how Trunda affects the game in terms of Hydra, which is a big thing. Lots of players are competing in right now because of the protection gear, especially to get the 9-piece bonus. The stone skin gear, not so much, but protection is what people are trying to get the 9-piece bonus in order to get that extra damage that you get from the whole set. So that is all of the players' goals, at least the really end game players. All right, everybody else doesn't really care that much about getting, you know, full protection gear just yet, but eventually that's the goal. So that was the video, guys. Just a big rant. What are your thoughts? What are the changes that you want to see that maybe haven't been addressed by Raid just yet? Let me know down below. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.